What does depression look like? Sadness. Sad, sad, sadness. Symptoms include looking off into the middle distance, forgetting to plug in appliances, and preparing food slowly. What do you wear when you have depression? A gray hoodie. It's just sad. It's a sad bowl of sadness. Feelings of despondency. Scaring dogs away with your sad, sad sadness. Ask your doctor what you can do to overcome the sad, sad sadness of depression.
Fuck it. I'm mad. On more than one occasion, I've told someone about my depression and they've responded with, "You're not depressed. You can't be depressed. You don't act like a depressed person." To which I should have responded, "Wow, I didn't know anyone could go to medical school that fast. Thanks, doctor." But I didn't because that's clever, and I can't think of clever retorts when I'm upset. If you aren't a doctor who is treating a patient, you can't weigh in on their mental health or diagnose them. Even credentialed mental health professionals don't diagnose people they're not treating. So if you don't have any certification at all, you can't diagnose anyone. Just be a friend and listen if someone is confiding with you about their mental health struggles, okay? Being depressed doesn't always mean being sad. That's just a one-dimensional representation of depression. It's high time we expand the perception of depression past gray hoodie-clad despondency to all the other flavors of depression. Angry depression. I'm this one a lot. In general, I'm a fiery little person and I get worked up with righteous indignation quite easily. So it's not that surprising that my depression would manifest itself through anger. I am the first to admit it's not great for interpersonal relationships because people find anger scary. Walking around eggshells around an irate person isn't fun, and I apologize for my previous outbursts and hope you can understand that they weren't about you. When you're angry depressed, you get mad when you get stressed. You get mad at yourself for not being a perfect goddess with a body that won't quit and a PhD. You get mad at yourself for not being a mall Clooney. You get mad at people, especially people who are driving. You get mad at objects for not working or not being where you thought they were. And I'm not able to let go of anger easily. I can stay mad for hours, and it builds and builds into a seething Lego block of rage that I just add to the tower. Irritated depression, the little sister of angry depression. It's a very logical extension of depression if you think about it. It's exhausting and stressful being depressed, and if you're constantly stressed, how are you supposed to deal with potential irritants in a healthy way? The physical symptoms of depression can make it painful to exist around other people, lowering your tolerance even further. You have a short fuse. Any minor irritant can set you off. The sound of off-key whistling, a sticky lock, a dumb return policy can make you lash out, snap at people, and just be prickly overall. Dumb depression. You aren't sad because your brain isn't working well enough to have real emotions, but brain fog and trouble concentrating makes you feel stupider, which makes you feel more depressed. You never accomplish anything because you can't focus on a task for more than 10 minutes. Which makes you feel stressed because your to-do list just gets longer and longer, and you feel shittier and shittier because you can't get anything done or do it right. It's hard to enjoy anything because you don't feel like you're experiencing anything. It's like you're watching a TV show someone pressured you to watch and you don't really like it, so you're kind of paying attention, but you're also wandering away to do other things. Hypomaniacal depression. You act like you're not depressed, but you are depressed. You try and do all the things, you talk big plans, and then you crash and never follow through on any of them. You were just trying to force yourself to not be depressed. You get exhausted and you also feel like shit because you talk a big talk, but you can't back it up. To clarify, even if you're depressed, you should still try and do things. Don't use the excuse of being depressed not to do stuff. Just don't force yourself to tackle a project that's out of your energy level. Or don't feel bad about it when you can't finish it. I don't know. Remember, not a doctor. anxious depression. Anxiety and depression go hand in hand. I have both. They're like a very dysfunctional family. They know exactly which buttons to push to make the most drama happen. And lucky for you, it's happening inside your head. And your stomach. A queasy, uneasy feeling settles in the pit of your stomach, which makes you feel like you are going to die, which leads down a branching path of catastrophic thinking, each outcome worse than the last. The doom settles in. You become certain that something bad is about to happen. And you don't know what to do to stop it, so you don't do anything. You don't do your laundry. You don't do your dishes. You just sit and wait, convinced that no matter what you do, something bad will happen. If you do snap out of it a little, you start feeling bad about feeling so bad. There are lots of people who have it worse than you, and they're not hiding under the dining room table. What the fuck is wrong with you that you can't pull yourself together and put a bra on? It must be cancer. Where's my phone? I need to Google that. Functional depression. You look fine on the outside, but you're screaming on the inside. Don't be this one. It is very harmful. You go to work, you go to school, you do a pretty good job. You don't complain much. You don't tell anyone what's going on with you. Fine. I'm fine. And then you have to go have an ugly cry in your car and you commute home. You use the weekend to sleep. The whole weekend. 5 p.m. Friday to 7 a.m. Monday morning. You can't even admit it to yourself. You just think you're in a slump and you'll come out of it if you can just catch up on sleep, get your head clear, clean up that one closet, etc., etc. You aren't depressed. You're just one step away from cracking the code of life and getting your shit right the fuck together. Seriously, don't be this kind of depressed. Talk to someone, anyone, even a Reddit thread. But don't stop there. Talk to someone about it, or you'll wake up one day and you'll be much older than you'd like to admit, making a YouTube video and wondering where the fuck all the time went, and how easy it is to accomplish absolutely nothing with your life. Not that I know anything about that, personally. If you recognize any of these symptoms in yourself or someone you know, get thee to a professional, because they have the drugs. And also therapy and other general health resources and stuff. I'm not a doctor or a therapist, but I have experienced all these things, and I know firsthand how they can make it harder to get help for depression. Your depression doesn't have to look a certain way for it to have a negative impact on your life. I didn't even discuss all the unconventional symptoms of depression, both that exist and that I've experienced. There's also changes in appetite, changes in sleep patterns, headaches, muscle aches, stomach aches, digestive problems, restlessness, suicidal thoughts. There are links for some mental health resources below if you need help getting started on finding a solution for yourself. Let me know in the comments if someone who is not a doctor has told you you're not depressed because you aren't acting sad. And subscribe if you like slightly snarky but ultimately hopeful videos about living with mental illness. Well, that's all from me. I need to go come up with a clever retort to the guy who cut me off in traffic the other day.